everybody on YouTube. We live and in the building. You're now tuning in to Kahuna Valley TV, the livest network in the world. The livest network in the world. We growing. We pushing P for positivity. And as the title suggests, it's 6ix9ine pushing P for positivity, positive vibes, positive energy. It's 6ix9ine pushing P for positivity. And I know y'all probably wondering, what the fuck is he talking about? 6ix9ine be trolling, doing all type of crazy shit. Well, and I know y'all see this. You know, before I get into that, these motherfucking vests, all right, this is for my job. These vests do not last long. Now, because I don't like wearing shit that's dirty and dingy and shit like that, and you know what I'm saying, I washed it, and this silver shit, whatever they make it out of, whatever it's made out of, it like gets all like fucked up when you wash it. So it's not even reflective anymore. So, but regardless to the fact, just got off of work, whatever the case may be. But back to what I was saying. So it's 6ix9ine pushing P for positivity, and I know y'all probably wondering, why am I questioning that? Why did I say that? And I got shaved. I know, looking crazy. I'm wolfing right now. Apparently, 6ix9ine gave $50,000 US, 1 million in pesos, which those of you who are not familiar with currency transfer, that means that the American dollar is worth more than the peso, which is the quote unquote Mexican dollar, right? Therefore, that's why you get less American dollars for more pesos for less American dollars. So to a family in need, a family in poverty, struggling to feed their kids. So, you know, much love to 6ix9ine for that. Shout out to 6ix9ine for that. And I respect that. A lot of respect goes out to 6ix9ine for that, because I gotta get a shape up too. 6ix9ine usually is known for being a piece of shit, an asshole, and also promoting trolling and negativity. However, there's been times of 6ix9ine doing some really good shit. I think low-key 6ix9ine is just a little mixed up. He's caught up. He got with what I like to call the Jay Reed thing going on. He's in too deep. That's what I like to say. He got the Jay Reed disorder. He's in too deep, and he doesn't know where to turn, I think. Cause when, like, now that I'm looking at this shit, he played gangster for so long, he went undercover as gangster for so long, that he's kind of stuck like that. It's like, we watched that movie In Too Deep. I think that's the movie, right? Where Jay Reed goes to, if I'm not mistaken, they go to Baltimore, and they're selling, you know, hard and shit, and they selling other drugs, and they shooting people, catching bodies and shit. And he links up with the dude that LL Cool J plays as, which they call God, and it's working for him. And he actually starts to befriend these dudes and starts liking these dudes, and he sees them do a lot of fucked up shit, but he starts to sympathize with them, and he gets stuck in that mind frame where he has to take a break away from that shit, and he has to start to separate. And I think that 6ix9ine didn't get a long enough break away from the streets, and in order for him to make a living, he didn't get that rehab from the streets, so he still gotta keep diving back into that street personality, that street mindset, because he got the Jay Reed effect, he got the Jay Reed disorder going on. He's in too deep, and basically, how I put it, With the rap game, they expect you to be gangster and hood, especially when and be on some super street shit, especially when you come into the game and that's what you talking about. That's the shit that you pushing and promoting when you get into the game. And you can't just turn around and it's like a nigga that rap about positivity can't turn around and rap about some gangster shit. And unless he got some shit in his past that's gangster, but you can't go as far as you did like 6ix9ine and then I mean you can, but it's people not gonna see like he's trying to make that change. People not gonna respect it. But you can't go as far as 6ix9ine did, dissing dead, dissing the dead, dissing so many people, getting into so many beefs, you know, getting in so much bullshit, and expect for shit to be kumbaya and Hakuna Matata when you get done. You understand what I'm saying? When you get done bumping your head, that you can just now go into the situation and be all good. So I think 6ix9ine is trapped because I think he got a good heart. I think his intentions were to help his family and do right by his family when he started this shit. However, it didn't work out that way. A lot of traumatic shit happened to him. He's probably traumatized. He probably got some PTSD going on because from a nigga not being from the streets and then you go head first into the bullshit with no slow introduction whatsoever. Niggas just threw you out there to the sharks and the wolves and the bears and the lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, motherfuckers threw you to the jungle and you expected to come back with a pelt fur coat. And you do it, but with the help of others. And you don't, those others turn on you then. And those others do some dirty, grimy shit to you, and you don't realize that that's how the street works. You know, you don't realize that that's how the street works, that the streets are dirty and grimy. And when you know what I'm saying, when you put yourself in that position, you're subject to certain things happening to you. And I don't think he was prepared for that because he wasn't raised to be prepared for that. He didn't come into the situation saying, I gotta get it this way. And wasn't given that understanding that this is the only way, is the streets. And most people are taught that that's the only way, is the streets. Therefore, when they jump in head first into the streets, it's not as traumatic to them, or it is, and they don't realize it's traumatic to them. 6ix9ine jumped into this shit and instantly banged his head as hard as you possibly can. There was no light taps. It was like getting hit by Mike Tyson in his prime and being an infant. You know what I'm saying? Like, for him. And why I say that is I think he do have a good heart, because this is not the first time 6ix9ine has done good. He's giving charity to people. He's giving out money. And yes, he's doing it on camera, so it could just be for show. Because I think everything he does is for entertainment purposes at this time. Hello? Hey.
What's the matter?
Nothing, I'm on live.
Okay, never mind.
What's the matter?
Nothing, good.
Alright, I'll call you right back.
Sorry.
So, he's done a lot of charitable things, fed people, done a lot of stuff. It's just people only see when you're a celebrity, when you're a rapper, when you're a internet personality, when you're an icon of some sort. People only see your character. They don't see the real you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, for a lot of years, people looked at Ice Cube as this super thug, super gangster, because that was his character. They didn't see the philanthropist. They didn't see the genius. They didn't see the actor. They didn't see they didn't see that he was a family man. They didn't see that he was conscious. They didn't see none of that. They just seen the nigga from NWA that was talking about fuck the police and all this gangster shit that he was saying in his songs. You know what I'm saying? And this West Side Connection side of him. They didn't see the conscious, woke, part of him that actually cares about the problems of black people. All right, so people didn't see the side of Ice Cube. They literally believed he was that gangster. When you look at a lot of artists, you believe they're a certain type of way, and then when it comes out that it's something different, like people believe Dr. Dre was a gangster, and that's not the case at all. Um, People believe MC Hammer was soft. MC Hammer was violating niggas. MC Hammer was a thug back in the day. You know what I'm saying? People believe Michael Jackson was a weirdo and a pervert and this, that, and the third, but he was a loving, kind individual who did a lot of charitable events and a lot of charitable things, and that was a genius. People thought he was just a stupid musician, and he was a fucking genius. If he didn't die, he would have came out on top of Sony. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're in a certain field, people only can see you as the character and persona that you put out to the world. So sometimes people get caught up in those characters and they feel as though if they change that character, their career is going to fail. And a lot of times, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people are not able to shake that character either because they actually become that character in their head. It's a they form a mental illness. Okay, they get a split personality and it fucks them up. It really does, because how often do they really get to be themselves? Especially when you're someone like 6ix9ine who, okay, you implanted yourself, you went in undercover with the 9 trays, with the billies, and you are now constantly surrounded by them. So you have to keep this thug persona up. You have to keep it up, and the camera's constantly rolling. So you got to keep this shit up because you can't allow the camera to see you as Danny. And now he got the slight chance to creep out as Danny, and he fucked up. And he fucked up. All right. So it's like, again, you're in a situation where it's not like being an undercover police officer in a drug sting operation where once the mission is over, you can go back to your normal life to some level. And they have this therapy system set up for you to get you out of your persona, out of your character, out of your role, and to ease you back into normal life as who the fuck you are. To prevent from you becoming a J. Reed and having that J. Reed disorder. You understand what I'm saying? In rap, they don't have that. And a lot of people don't have that switch to turn it the fuck off. A lot of these motherfuckers don't have the ability to separate the character from the fiction from the fact, the character from the real life body. You understand what I'm saying? The real life individual. A lot of people perceive Tupac as a fucking thug because only a thug. Because they only seen that part of his career when he was on death row and he was out here fuck everybody, and then they seen him and they didn't know he was a revolutionary. They didn't know he was a mastermind, a genius. They didn't know that. And some people thought he was soft because he looked a certain type of way. And he was whooping niggas' asses. This is it's hard to find that balance. All right. Perception is everything. The character you put out there in certain careers is what people are gonna see you as, and people are gonna assume you are. And now I seen King Yella, right? Started a podcast on YouTube. Shout out to King Yella. Shout out to all the um Lil J saying FBG is done. Shout out to all the former members or current members or whatever you want to say of FBG. I was a huge fan of theirs musically, and not trying to be biased, but way more than the old block shit and the 300 and 600 members. Like, I thought FBG, the members of FBG was so much doper. Like, Duck was the shit. Billionaire Black is the shit. And personally, I think musically, Billionaire Black has the best ability, and Duck had the best ability to make the commercial music. The music that can kind of like cross over. Like, Billionaire Black is a musical genius too. King Yella too, he's nice too. He's underrated. But he was talking about being blackballed, and he was talking about how the BDs, they got on first and prevented them from getting on, meaning the GDs, which is like STL, 63rd, all the dudes that was fucking with Duck and everything. They're GDs, and there are a few BDs that fuck with them or whatever, and whatever. So for me, it's like this: how easy is it going to be for them? They could make their music as commercial as they want and sound good as they want, but how easy is it going to be for them to get these businessmen to take them serious outside of the rap shit, and for them to enter into the corporate world outside of it being connected to their rap personality, because they put that thug gangster image so hard and ingrained it so hard into who the fuck they are as the character, even if they are really like that in their day-to-day life. How easy is it gonna be for them to convert that? And that's also part of that problem. There was really no commerciality with them as far as that is concerned. There's no marketability. So that's where Little Durk was able to win. That's where Little Durk was able to succeed, and Little Durk was able to do better than them. And that's why it was so hard for Duck, even when he did get signed, because Duck didn't have the marketability that, even if Duck, I feel like Duck is dope as fuck, he didn't have the marketability because niggas was pushing that hard gangster card for so long. And I think that in part helped blackball them. That's what made the BDs and the niggas from Glow Gang, Glory Boys, and all that other shit so easily able to blackball them. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at let's see who else had a hard time. I just seen an interview with Bobby Shmurda. It's a pretty old interview. I think it's a few months old or something like that, or at least a year old. Bobby Shmurda is now trying to be, and Rowdy Rebel are trying to transition to becoming businessmen and entering the corporate world. And they already came out with Hot Nigga and Bobby Bitch and Computers and all that other shit that put them as these young dumb niggas from the New York streets, grimy niggas, and they come from an area where people are already gonna perceive you as that type of nigga. You couldn't have been a nerd. You could have been a nigga that was on the porch. You know what I'm saying? You could have been a sidewalk nigga, like a nigga that never hopped off the porch, a nigga that never hit the streets. You could have been that. And because you come from that area, and you come from an area where there's gangs that really go hard, people gonna assume it's drug infested. People gonna assume you a certain type of way automatically. There's not gonna be an opportunity for you to say, no, that's not me. And so it's a hard transition. So I kind of get why people look at 6ix9ine a certain type of way. He's been trolling so fucking much. He went so hard trolling, going so hard trying to prove that the industry is all bullshit, that it's all for play, it's all games, it's all bullshit, it's all one big act, it's all like wrestling, it's all pretend, blah blah blah, it's all scripted and all other shit. And then look what happened now. His life is now scripted. His life is constant trying to prove that the rap industry is all fuckery, that it's all scripted bullshit. Now his life is now completely scripted. He's in too deep. He has the J. Reed complex, the J. Reed disorder. Facts. And cause like I sympathize with him on that aspect, because it could have ended his life. He's could have died on multiple occasions. He's could have been locked up forever trying to make a way out of the streets by pretending to be something he wasn't, and taking it too far. That's why there was a lot of pretend gangsters in the 90s as far as rappers, but they were telling the stories of experiences and things that they saw, but from a perspective that wasn't so in too deep. They wasn't getting that J. Reed disorder, and they were able to kind of mesh with the criminal life. They was and without becoming a part of it. Now there are a few artists that fell through the cracks. Hold on. Cause I get that the Zoes got Dirk back. However, in the same way, 6ix9ine is like I said, I'm not doubting Dirk's gangster. I'm not doubting Dirk's gangster, but Dirk never had, like, Dirk is on top right now musically. He's doing his fucking thing, but he didn't have the outward smash hit stamp like 6ix9ine did. Listen. The same way 6ix9ine got the non-Trey niggas, the Billies, locked the fuck up. Do you think that these dudes are really willing, that stupid, to get themselves thrown away? The same way, and they're not riding for Dirk, they're riding for 42 Doug. Those are his mans. The BDs is riding for Dirk and the lookalike. And secondly, the Zoes on a whole different type of level. We talking a whole different type of level of gangster. The Zoes is not gangsters. They're borderline mercenaries. They on some whole other shit. How shit operates with them is totally different than how gangs operate. I mean, again, this shit is scripted. You seriously think, I mean, does it really matter though? And then again, the lookalike nigga, see, here's my advice to the Zoes, right? Lil Perkio, right? Here's my advice to the street niggas, right? Y'all niggas really out here risking y'all lives, trying to feed y'all babies. Y'all niggas really out here trying to put food in your woman, your stomach, your mama's stomach, your sister's stomach, the baby's stomach, all that other shit. Y'all trying to feed yourselves and do shit. These niggas know what they sign up for. Perkio or whatever the fuck knew what he signed up for. He knows there's a lot of niggas out here who want Dirk head. Dirk got beef stemming way back from when his career started. Okay, he done backdoored a lot of niggas. And some people say he backdoored Von. You think niggas back in Chicago, back in these areas don't know certain shit that we don't know as the viewers? Do you think it's advantageous for them to be riding for him? A nigga who got a dark cloud of death hanging over him. Everybody who gets close to Dirk dies. Everybody. It ain't just about prison. It's about everybody who rides for Dirk, everybody who gets close to him dies. It's as if this nigga is cursed. He said it his fucking self. So do you think it's advantageous for him, for them to ride for him? Not just that, it's not just about prison, it's about feeding your babies. My advice to them niggas is to say, to look at the situation. Is these niggas really going hard for you the same way you're going hard for them? Are you seriously getting a bag for riding for these niggas? A lot of these niggas don't even get paid to ride for him like that. They just jumping out the window doing stupid shit to be put away in prison or murdered behind a nigga who don't care about them. Florida and Chicago can mess around all they want, but like I said, and like I said, if you ain't getting a bag for it, if you're not feeding your family, jumping out the window for these niggas, why jump out the window for them? If you not getting paid and it's not supporting your family, why jump out the window for them? Why risk your life and limb for niggas who ain't doing the same thing for you? These niggas is going home to mansions while you going back to the slums. You going back to the hood. You going back to the trenches. You going back to a place where you dodging bullets and in the Zoe's case, you dodging bullets, machetes, and other shit. Then you getting deported back to a third world country. For street respect, listen, street respect don't feed your kids. Street respect don't pay the bills. Street respect, their street respect and for them is getting you put back in a fucking in a third world country. No disrespect to Haiti, because there are Haitians that come to the United States that bust their ass and work really hard and are respectable people. And then you have a whole generation of kids who grew up and became the Zoes, ZMF, and they doing crazy shit. And then parents done came here not speaking English, working hard as fuck to be able to put food on the table, struggling. You understand what I'm saying? So you find that being ZMF or Zopound back in the day, what was advantageous for you to feed your family. But it may have been through drug connections and other shit. But then jumping out the window for a rapper who will not do the same for you, is he gonna feed your family while you sitting behind bars? When you trading zoom zooms and wham whams for your fucking needs, for your personal needs and things that you need going on, can you send honey buns back home out of a prison to feed your fucking kids? Can you send a pack of cigarettes back home to feed your kids? The Zoes could run Florida all they want. From a prison cell, though. From a prison cell, you run in the streets. You run in the streets. Is that feeding your kids? No, the Zoes don't run the streets. You know who runs Florida? The fucking government. The police run all these streets. Because you could say you run the streets, and as soon as the feds kick down your door, your ass is putting your hands in them handcuffs and getting locked the fuck up and going to prison. And then now you're in a cage, gutting and cutting people. 3 hots in the cot while your baby out here starving. And then if you got a daughter, she turned into a thought. You got a son, he goes and repeats the same cycle you did because you're not there to protect him. You understand? So again, my advice is really evaluate the people you choose to ride for. You got niggas that are gonna jump out the window, don't know who the fuck 6ix9ine is, never seen him a day in their life, don't know who the fuck Lil Durk is, never seen him in person a day in their life, and they'll go run down and punch 6ix9ine, which has already happened. We'll go punch 6ix9ine, or go try to shoot 6ix9ine, and go try to hurt this one and that one and this one and this one and that one. and don't know who the fuck they're riding for. And mind you, Lil Durk is cool with them now because he know they strong, they got power. That's why he's cool with them. But the minute he feels like he gonna be dissing they dead, they didn't punch him for messing with Perkio. That came after his diss with 42 Dugg. And even if they did punch him for messing with Perkio, let's be realistic though. Do you really get cool points of punching 6ix9ine? Do you really get cool points of punching 6ix9ine? Like, if Shotty from Treyway was out here, do you think they would have pulled that on him? Like, honestly, respectfully, I think Shotty would have blown one of their fucking heads off. Yeah, he probably would have went out like Scarface and got shot the fuck up or kidnapped and killed, but the reality of it is they wouldn't. A lot of these young dumb motherfuckers wouldn't have tried that with a real gangster. People know who to test, and they tested 6ix9ine because he's not that. He's not a real gangster. Let's be realistic. Anybody who's spent any time in the streets for real, the internet, DJ academics, etc., giving them Zoes credit points for that. Who cares? Is okay, which credit would you prefer? Which credit makes more sense to go get? Credit from a bank or credit from the streets? Which one is paying your bills? Which one could get you a car? Which one could buy you a house? Who cares? Who the fuck cares? Like, realistically, respectfully, who cares? Who cares? Shotty is very much a gangster. No, Shotty's not a gangster. He's a crash test dummy. He has some problems upstairs because Shotty is not a real gangster. Thinks about what they do, and Shotty don't think. Street money can't buy you those things because a lot of things nowadays. See, back in the day, all the people from the mob and people from drug organizations who were selling cocaine way back in the day, when they went out to Florida and LA and it was buying these mansions with drug money and then kept getting indicted, and then the people who sold these houses were getting in trouble and getting indicted, and now they have to check credit. They have to check your credit. They have to run your credit. They got to run a background check and see where the money fucking came from. So no, drug money can barely buy that. You got to have some serious fucking connections. Street money can't buy that. Street money can't really legitimately buy you much of anything now. It's very difficult to spend street money without getting tracked by the feds. Especially in places where street money's been used an awful lot. New York, Florida, mainly Miami, Los Angeles, California. Like, we're not talking about in the gutter in the streets. We're not talking about like places like the Bronx. We're not talking about like places like Brooklyn. We're not talking about places like Pompano and places like that. We're talking about. And you think half these dudes getting street money is smart enough to clean that money, to funnel it through something else? And you think it's not being traced? You know how many niggas were smart enough to funnel their money through other means and got caught the fuck up? Do you know how many niggas were smart enough to funnel their street money and got caught the fuck up? You can't just funnel it through one thing. But I'm not gonna teach you how to do that on here and get caught the fuck up. But realistically, we talking reality now. If one of these niggas pop 6ix9ine or do something to 6ix9ine, realistically, is Lil Durk gonna pay for their bail? Is Lil Durk gonna feed their family? Is Lil Durk gonna put their kids through school? Is Lil Durk gonna do any of that? Realistically, he's not. Realistically, Lil Durk gonna charge it to the game. He gonna chalk it up as a loss for them and keep it pushing. You know how many niggas done rolled for Durk that were BDs? That Durk done just chalked it up to the game and kept it pushing? No disrespect to Durk. Respectfully, the nigga he's not one of us anymore. The minute he crossed over into mainstream entertainment, he's not a regular individual no more. Realistically. You think Perkio, them goons go to jail for less? Killing 6ix9ine will get you hella clout, respect and money. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're not gonna get no respect from no real gangsters if you do something to 6ix9ine. You're not getting no love and respect from no real gangsters, because real gangsters know that real gangsters go after real gangsters. Real gangsters don't go after weak individuals. That's a fact. Real gangsters do not go after weak individuals, and you don't get cool points for that. Now there are young niggas, the young niggas gonna give him love because the young niggas is into this internet shit. He's a rat, of course you get respect for that. All right, let me put something out. Let me make something clear. Although Shotty didn't tell on nobody, although Mel Matrix didn't tell on nobody, although all of these individuals didn't tell on nobody. What's this?
Alfredo.
Oh, okay. Where'd this come from?
The noodle.
Where'd this come from?
My manager. She had Red Lobster. And she needed.
There's shrimp in there.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Realistic. Okay, Mafia killed rats. Okay, first of all, do you know how many rats was in the Mafia? A lot. John Gotti, one of the biggest rats there ever was in the mob. He took down the whole fucking mob. Okay, there's not an organization that exists that do not have rats. That's a fact. Not one. Not one. Number one. Number two, Shotty didn't tell. Shotty and Rat. Mel Matrix didn't tell. All these dudes from 9 Trey, from Treyway, did not tell when they got indicted on that RICO. Right? But they are no better than 6ix9ine. You know why? Because they broke the street code. They violated the street code. And I'm not talking about the street code that new gen niggas is believing in and worshiping and following. I'm talking about the real street code. The blueprint. Okay, they involve women and children in their fucking crimes. Okay? Which is against the street code. Sammy the Bull was a rat, not John Gotti. John Gotti was a rat too. John Gotti was a rat too. Sammy the Bull was a rat, but John Gotti was a rat too. Sorry to tell you. Look it up. He was a rat. He's an informant. He's a government informant. He's a federal informant. So is Sammy the Bull. But now, and he's not the only one. There's a lot. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And John Gotti is the reason why Sammy the Bull was able. I'm not sure was it Sammy the Bull that ratted on him and got him to rat, but regardless of the fact, he was loud with his money. He self-snitched first because he was super loud with his dirty money, and then he got caught up and he told too. But again, they broke original street code. Anyone who breaks the street code, how can you get mad when you break the code of the streets, the code of conduct that goes in the streets, and when you violate that code of conduct, how can you get mad when someone violates it against you? Al Capone was not a rat, but his organization was full of rats. And you sure he stood on the street code? He didn't stand on every street code. Trust me when I tell you. There was codes he broke. Ratting is not the only fucking code of the streets. Not ratting is not the only code of the streets. Women and children should not be involved in street activity. Civilians should not be involved in street activity. And you shouldn't sell drugs to your own fucking community. Those are part of the original street code. The foundation, the blueprint to this shit. That's a fact. Look it up. Check into it. Look into it. Ask around. Ask some real OGs that been around since day one. They're going to tell you. The younger generation is renegades. They don't follow the street code whatsoever. At all. And a lot of them be telling. And niggas love them anyway. Niggas say they kill rats every day. But do shit that makes them no better than a rat. There's niggas out here every day sleeping with little kids, fucking little kids, and then be mad at a rat. There's niggas out here every day selling drugs to their community, selling out their community, selling drugs to people that look just like them, killing people that look just like them, but be mad at the rat for locking you up. But you just killed a nigga that looked just like you in the same struggle. You rob an old lady, but you better than the rat? You can't get mad when you violate a street. No street code is any different from the other. Alpo, the rat, got killed in Harlem. Streets always win. It's the rules. No, the streets don't always win. The streets lose every day. The motherfucker who killed Alpo, he gonna get got sooner or later. Karma wins. Karma wins, not the streets. Now, Alpo, let's be clear about something. We don't even know if Alpo is actually dead. Alpo was a government informant. And also, I can't consider Alpo a rat like that because do you realize that he was a child when he got locked the fuck up? He was a teenager when he got locked up. He was thrown in the streets real fucking young, okay? Shit moved too fast for him, okay? And he got locked up as a teenager. And a lot of niggas was afraid to say any fucking thing about that rat Alpo until Alpo was dead, supposedly. But he was a government informant, and shit was getting hot for him. The feds probably swept in, staged his murder, and got him the fuck out of here with a new identity. It's possible. Realistically speaking, let's be real. A lot of people who rat are some of the most gangster, murdering ass niggas in the world. People are still afraid of them. Sammy the Bull, a rat, but guess what? That nigga was catching bodies, and there's niggas that's still afraid of his name to this day. That's a fact. Alpo, there was niggas afraid to even say Alpo's name because Alpo was putting in pain. It don't matter that he was a rat, but realistically, I don't respect rats, but realistically, if you break a street code, any of them, it's like the Bible, right? All the commandments are there, but they all still sins. When you break those commandments, you're still committing sin regardless of the fact, right? And the same applies to street code. One street code is not more valuable than the next, right? So when you break that street code, it's all on the same level of violating the street code of conduct. So whether you smack an old lady and rob her, and she's a civilian, never heard of anybody in a day in their life, never been involved in the streets, a civilian, street Bible, when you violate any of those terms and agreements of the streets, when you hop off that porch and you hop off the curb and you hit the streets, you violate an old lady. It's no different than you telling on somebody. It's no different. You hit the streets and you go snatch up one of these young girls because you looking at her, you a 40-year-old, 50-year-old man, you looking at a fucking, I don't know, 12-year-old, and because of all the hormones that's in their food, they developing fast, and you like, damn, she look good, and you molest her, nigga, you violated street code. You violated street code. So it's no different than you telling. It's really none. When you sell to your own community, you sell crack to your own community, you are no better than a snitch. You're doing police work. You're doing federal work. Because that's where the drugs come from initially. You're doing their job. You're destroying your own people. That's what the government's job is to do, to keep you weak and stupid. So you know different. Realistically, you know different than a government informant. Only difference is they destroying the community with their words, and you destroying the community with the drugs, guns, and everything else that you fucking doing. Realistically. Now, a rapper, no difference than a rat. You know why? Because a rapper who tells kids to go out here and shoot, kill, and steal, and this the dead, smoking on this pack and that pack, and then when these kids go out here and go do it, and then they get locked the fuck up, you just ratted. Lil Durk's a rat too. You know why? Because he out here talking about he's smoking on Tuka. No disrespect, respectfully, God rest the dead. He's out here smoking on Tuka. He got other kids out here wanting to go smoke on they ops, copying him, being stupid as hell, and the young, they don't know what the fuck going on. And they go out here and kill somebody, and they get locked up for the rest of their life. Guess who told them to go do it? Lil Durk. Even though indirectly he's a rat, he got him caught up. His lyrics got them niggas' minds fucking brainwashed and got them doing dumb shit. Realistically, he's no different. That's how I see it. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. Realistically, any of these niggas glorifying street shit, you know better than the rat. You know, especially when you're not out here telling these kids, nah, this is music. I'm talking about my life and my experience. I'm not telling y'all to go out here and do that. Please don't. When you glorify that shit and you not giving a disclaimer saying this, yo, this is no longer reality. This is music. And the kids go out here and copy you because they think you cool, and they go out here and get locked the fuck up or get smoked, and they become that new Kush pack, right? They get parked, and they mom come outside and see them on the floor talking about not my baby. When they talk about not my baby didn't hurt nobody, he's innocent, but he was a fucking demon. He was on demon time. he was clocking in with the devil, then realistically, you know better than the rat. You actually worse than the rat because you're giving these rats a reason to rat. No better. You the motherfucker employing the rat. No different. No different. The real gangster time. Real gangster time. Real gangster time. The most gangster thing you could do is get the fuck out the streets and feed your kids and teach them not to do the same shit. When you grow up doing certain things and you get exposed to certain things and you get that dose of PTSD from the shit that you experience in the streets, and then you subject your kids to it, you weak as hell. You weak as hell. You deserve the penitentiary. You deserve to get fucked off. You deserve the grade that you signed up to get. But when you take that life and those experiences and that PTSD dose that you got, and you turn around and you tell your kids this is not what you want, this ain't for you, and you mold them and shape them to be something else, that doctor that's making over $100,000 a year, that scientist that's going to change the world and find a cure for this bullshit that they putting out here, that COVID-19, the real cure, or them AIDS, or whatever the fuck else that the government has created to destroy people. When you create that new trendsetter, the real trendsetter, somebody who changes the world, then you a real gangster. None of these niggas out here on the internet is real gangsters because they don't move in silence. They telling you stuff. They walking around brandishing their goddamn guns. They out here smoking on their ops, so they telling on who the fuck is responsible for this nigga's death. They all rats. All of them. Sorry. Sorry. And Perkio is a fool. He know niggas hunting. He know niggas hunting for Dirk's head. Dirk got enemies. Realistically, what makes you a real gangster is when you come home and you tell your kids, get your ass up and go do your homework. Get the fuck away from that TV. Get away from that stupid idiot lying ass TV. Get the fuck away from that shit. Turn your brain into mashed potatoes. Go sit there and go do your fucking homework. And then while they doing that homework, you wait for them to be done and you check that shit. And you educate your kids. Yeah, a lot of the shit they teach us is bullshit. A lot of the shit they teach us is bastardized shit of what comes from an older culture and an older society. And you explain that to them. You teach your fucking self so that you can teach them. That's gangster. It's easy to learn how to weigh drugs. It's easy as hell. Trust me. It's easy as hell. Trust me, I know. It's easy as hell to load a gun and shoot the shit. It's easier to shoot somebody than go out there and knuckle up. It takes more courage to go out there and square up with a nigga and fight a nigga and worry about the embarrassment of getting your ass whooped. Then goes out there and just go pop a nigga and go down the street. It's easier to go pop a nigga and put him on the curb, sideline a nigga, than to go out here, square up, fight a nigga, and worry about seeing that nigga another day and having to fight him each and every day until that nigga feel like he got enough. Trust me. The streets lose every day. The streets is full of losers. There's not a winner in the streets. How many drug kingpins are broke as hell right now? And the only thing they got to go on is their reputation, their name. How many gangsters, killers, niggas that lived in the streets doing too much, all they got to go on is their reputation, their name. How many of them niggas, that's all they got to go on? A lot of them on food stamps. A lot of these niggas out here begging for $1. They send their little homies out there to go get them a drink, a soda from the store. Because they don't got no money. Not because they're not doing it because they're the big homie, they're OG. They doing it because they broke. A lot of these niggas, they little homies got more money than them. These niggas figured out how to get paid off of death of their own people. They're marketing death. Facts. So, fuck, listen, no disrespect to the Zoes, respectfully, but fuck their bullshit. If they not feeding their kids, doing this shit to feed their kids, and their kids is not getting fed, and they ended up in the federal penitentiary, they becoming that next plate for the government, and they feeding these police officers kids by becoming their cattle, then what's the point? What the fuck is the point? What the fuck is who cares that they on Dirk's side? Who the fuck cares that they on this nigga side? I don't give a fuck if I don't care, my nigga. I really don't care. You know why? Because I know the result. I know what's gonna happen. I know what the fuck gonna happen. I know what the fuck gonna happen. One of these niggas gonna get popped. Dirk ain't gonna pay for the funeral unless the pressure's applied on him to do it. One of these niggas gonna pop somebody. Dirk ain't gonna pay the bill unless the pressure's applied. Or somebody, or one of them, or something's gonna happen, and Dirk ain't gonna follow up. When's the last time you heard of Dirk directly catching a body? You heard a lot about his man's getting bodied and catching bodies, but you ain't heard about Dirk doing it. Dirk know exactly what the fuck he doing. That's why he not entertaining 6ix9ine like he used to do, entertaining niggas with beef. That's why NBA Youngboy, he getting a lot of streams and he got a little bit of money, but they not truly wealthy. They not a Diddy. They not a Dr. Dre. They not none of these niggas who got billions. They not a Kanye West. Kanye West stay out the fuckery. Kanye West got a lot of drama going on, but it ain't the same type of drama. It ain't the killing and retarded shit that they got going on. Know what I'm saying? There's a news truck over here, ABC 7, driving past. Real shit. Something just went down. There was another news truck that went on before. There's a fire over here like not too long ago, so that might be why. Plus it's getting hot out here. The sun coming out. Kanye West worth $9 billion. That's a fact, bro. Kanye West ain't involved in the same shit these niggas involved in. None of these niggas is billionaires. Dirk is probably not even close to a billionaire. He's not even heading in the direction of becoming a billionaire. You know where he's headed? Indictment. And you know Dirk gonna probably get the worst time out of all of them. I don't wish that on nobody, but he gonna get the worst time out of all these niggas that got locked up. He gonna be sitting where YNW Melly sitting right now. You know why? Because all they doing is if he gets away with a lot of this shit for the next 10, 20 years and don't never get locked up, he's been an informant the whole time behind the scenes. 40 million ain't shit. 40 million ain't shit. You know how fast you can spend 40 million? 40 million ain't shit when you talking about billions. Diddy, billionaire. Okay? Diddy is a billionaire. Okay? When you haven't made $1 billion and all you've made was millions, you can't have the same conversation. You can't have the same conversation. Listen, when you don't own no catalogs of any other artists, you not worth anything. Listen, let me explain something to you. Kanye owns shit. He has ownership of shit. He's not owned. Okay? Kanye is making more money off of, he don't even have to make music no more. Kanye don't have to make another motherfucking Yeezy again. He could go out here like Jordan is doing and fucking retro all his Yeezys. He don't gotta make another colorway ever again. And you know why? Niggas gonna buy that shit. Kanye don't gotta drop another Yeezy. He don't gotta drop another album. He don't gotta drop another motherfucking thing. He can sit back and just keep retroing the same shit, do the same thing Jordan's doing, destroy the hood with retros. All right, Diddy done made $1 billion in his lifetime. Diddy owns masters. Diddy owns publishing of other artists. Dr. Dre owns masters, publishing, and all kind of writing credits for other artists, production credits and all that. A lot of these niggas don't gotta do another motherfucking thing, and the only reason some of them ain't billionaires like that no more is divorces and other bullshit, child support and other bullshit. So realistically speaking, Dirk, if he don't get indicted in the next couple years, they just building a big ass federal case on him and everybody who touches that nigga. They letting the deaths pile up. Niggas is profiting off of it. When the minute they can't profit off of death no more, Dirk ass is gone. Like a lot of these niggas. No disrespect. Musically, he's dope though. I ain't gonna front. Dirk music is fire. But realistically speaking, if they don't indict Dirk, yo, listen, you got one or two things that's gonna end up happening. Dirk is gonna get capped. He gonna get sidelined. He gonna get parked by somebody. That, or he gonna fall back enough to get the fuck away from this shit. And when the government and when this industry and this entertainment industry can't profit off of death no more, they gonna indict his ass. And if they don't, he was an informant behind the scenes the whole fucking time. He got a big indictment coming for his ass. You know why? Because a lot of deaths linked to his name. A lot. Hundreds. And not because he's the biggest gangster in the world, because his hands is dirty and stained with blood. With that being said, I respect Kanye way more than Dirk. Kanye hands ain't dirty like his. I'd rather fuck with the nigga and have the back of a nigga who ain't got no drama. What street nigga wouldn't rather work for Kanye? And you ain't got bullets whizzing past your motherfucking head. You ain't got to worry about actually touching nobody. You getting a bigger check and you get to sit on your ass. I would rather be the nigga that is in Kanye's entourage or some other nigga that's a corporate businessman than be surrounded by the nigga who's constantly involved in beef. You know why? I don't got to worry about every time I go to work and go to be around this nigga. Listen, Dirk could be all the gangster he want, and guess what? He's either an informant, and that's why he ain't been indicted yet. He's a low-key informant that hasn't been exposed yet. He working for the government. Or his daddy, who's in prison right now, who's a known real gangster, is an informant, and it's him being an informant is protecting him. Or the feds is building a nice big motherfucking case on him, and they gonna put his ass under the motherfucking penitentiary, under the motherfucking foundation of that motherfucker. They gonna lock his ass up. I'm telling you, if he don't get locked up for a lot of the bodies that he's connected to, his ass is going away forever. If he don't get locked up, he's an informant. Because his hands are stained, my nigga. Real talk. His hands are stained with blood. That's a fact. There's a lot of artists who should have been locked up a long motherfucking time ago and didn't. And you should be questioning why that is. They done did a lot of shit and should have been locked up. Why wasn't Game locked up for the case that he got going on? Motherfucking Whack 100 threatened to murder niggas on the internet multiple times. There's people who get locked up for that. He ain't get locked up. Whack 100 didn't. How the fuck is Dirk responsible for more deaths, or at least inadvertently responsible for more deaths than the niggas that was in Treyway in 6ix9ine's camp, and all of 6ix9ine's camp got indicted on the RICO? It don't matter how good your fucking lawyer is. You could have Johnny motherfucking Cochran. If them niggas want to lock you up, they gonna lock your ass up. Them paid lawyers don't mean a motherfucking thing. Trust me, the law is the law. There's a lot of niggas that go up in there with them paid lawyers thinking they the shit, and they end up they talking about, what? I thought you was a good lawyer. God damn, I paid you $1 million, and they sitting there in prison right now. Them paid lawyers don't mean a motherfucking thing. People think that. They don't mean a motherfucking thing. There's public defenders out here getting niggas off. There's niggas that waste their whole fortune on a paid lawyer, and guess what? They sitting there in prison broke as a motherfucker. Trust me. Paid lawyers don't mean a motherfucking thing. You could be Johnny Cochran. You got the best strategies in the world. The only difference between a paid lawyer and a public defender is that a paid lawyer gets paid off his reputation. A public defender gets paid regardless. That's the only difference between a public defender and a paid attorney. Is that a paid attorney gets paid based on their reputation. Their reputation actually matters. So if their reputation is shitty, they don't get paid. Nobody hires them. But a public defender gets paid by the state. Therefore, they get paid anyway, regardless whether they win or lose. So they don't give a fuck. No, paid lawyers do not have connections. Guess what? Let me tell you something. You want to know how people be getting out of crimes? A lot of people get off that are not rich and famous and celebrities and connected to evil and, shit going on. Regular motherfuckers who got a lot of money, and don't got a lot of money, if you got a public defender or attorney, it doesn't matter. The DA, the judge, the public defender, and the attorneys, they all go to lunch together. And guess what? They all chit chat and talk shit about the cases. They laughing at motherfuckers when they go to lunch. You know what they do when they go to lunch and brunch and dinner and breakfast and all the other shit that they go to and they sit down together? When they go in that back room, they laughing back there having drinks. They not fucking talking about the case. They in a serious matter. They going back there, they taking a shot of some shit, smoking a little bit of a joint or a fucking cigar, and they talking shit about your ass and who they gonna fry. They're making an agreement saying, well, all right, who you got? I got this person. I'm the DA for this person's case, this person's case. Who you got on your next court thing? All right, I'll let him go if you let me fry him. Fuck this up and let me fry him. All right, all right, for this one, all right, we'll give him this deal. We'll offer him this. Make him take this deal, and we'll let this nigga go run free. Make him take this deal. We really want him. We don't give a fuck about that little fucking minnow over here. We want that nigga. Or, you know what? That nigga got some real money. I know he gonna be back. We gonna make some more money. He gonna make my career. You know what? I'll let him go. Let me fry this little motherfucker over here. That's how it works. They make deals behind the table. All that them talking for you, all that court case, fighting the case shit is for show. It means absolutely nothing. Absolutely. So all that paid attorney, paid lawyer shit, that's bullshit. Because your paid attorney do the same thing a public defender do. Like I said, the only difference is that a paid attorney, it's not about connection, trust me. A paid attorney, they get paid off of reputation. Okay, so when you're a paid attorney and your reputation's bad, guess what? You can't ask somebody for $1 million to fight their case for them. Henceforth, why Johnny Cochran, everybody was talking about him. You know why? Because the motherfucker reputation for getting niggas off for the pettiest shit. And for getting niggas off by saying this is some racist shit by locking up this black man. Getting niggas off. It made his reputation big. The highest paid attorney, like, listen, let me explain something to you. Paid attorneys get paid off of reputation. That's the difference. They rely on their reputation to get paid. Okay? They rely on their reputation to get paid. Public defenders don't rely on their reputation to get paid. They could win, lose, or draw, so they don't give a fuck. That's why they really don't give a fuck. Okay? They just like, eh. If you've ever had a public defender and that motherfucker be like, just take it. Just take it. He don't care because he's going to get paid the same. The motherfuckers is rushing to get the fuck on to their next case. That's why they pile up a shit ton of cases on public defenders. An attorney could take one case a year. But a public defender, them motherfuckers' folders be like this goddamn big and shit. You be walking, this nigga be walking around talking about, ah shit, I need help. Motherfucker be having a cart, 3 niggas carrying folders and files for him. You know why? Because they piling up cases so they get paid. They get paid from the state. They get paid to take cases. Attorneys really just get paid. They could get $1 million case and be good. That's a whole fact. They get paid off of reputation. Public defenders get paid regardless. That's why a lot of niggas will sell your ass out. That's why a lot of paid attorneys make you go take, they be pushing you to take it to trial. Because they know with certain people, they know if they take it to trial and blow trial, the money stops. That's why they really try to get you off when you a nigga with money. Because they hold you on retainer and the motherfuckers be getting, you know, deposits put down and all other shit. They get paid from you to stay on their payroll. That's the difference. So Dirk having paid attorneys don't mean a motherfucking thing, trust me. It don't mean shit. Okay? It don't mean shit. Okay? The power of the almighty dollar is a lot. Trust me. But you don't think some of these paid attorneys don't be taking some of that money that these dudes be giving them and putting it toward paying the DA, breaking some of that money off the DA to let niggas go? Come on, man. The law is a dirty game, bro. The law ain't designed to help you. It's designed to help them. It's designed to keep you constricted to certain things. The only thing that really matters in this world is the moral code. But With that being said, yo, thank you for tuning into this live, yo. I'm gonna be going live later, so if you want to tune in, I got some deep shit. I'm about to drop some shit on y'all. Like you're gonna want to see that next live, bro. Trust me, you're gonna want to see that next live. It's some heat. It's some heat. You gonna want to see that. I'm gonna go on later tonight. Thank you. I noticed you've been tuning into some other lives and shit. So tune into this one. They'll probably be tuning in around maybe like 9 something, 10 o'clock at night. If you on, tune in or watch the video after. Like this video. Do me a favor, like this video. Thank you for hitting the comment section. I fuck with you on the comment section. You did great on that shit. Definitely shout out to you. If you got a YouTube channel, when I close this live out, because sometimes YouTube be taking the comments off that you're doing a live, and I post your YouTube channel in the comment section, I'll push that shit for you. I'll fucking share it on my Instagram and other shit. So if you got content, let me know. Put a link to one of your videos. I'll go watch your shit. So tune into my live later. I'll probably tune in maybe around 9:30, 10 o'clock, maybe a little later than that. I'll be back on here. I got some fire. Trust me. You gonna like this shit. Trust me. Trust me. You gonna like this live. So tune in. Hit that like button. Share this video and subscribe. Peace. Much love.